All right, Gavin, this is Adrian Gomez. Thanks so much for sending these videos in, and looking forward to working with your team as you guys move through this. So right now, I'd like to see, so power the back leg, I'd like to see your butt go backwards more behind that heel. You're squatting more with your knee than you are with your butt. And so that's a factor. I think that's going to be able to allow you to throw with more power out of the back leg. I'm just going to measure this really quick. You're squatting well enough, but I want more of the power to come from your gluteus. And right now it's more in your knee. So you're squatting well. That's pretty good. But I think the box drill 1, box drill 2, how you squat is going to be really important to throwing hard. So power the back leg, that's 1. We're going to measure your angle at foot strike, and we are about 101, which is pretty good. It's not bad. I think it could be a little bit better as you plant. So let's watch this real quick. Your back leg comes off the ground before you start throwing. And the power of the back leg, those drills, walking torques, walking windups, those are going to really help you keep your back leg on the ground for a longer period of time. So you've still got to continue to push and drive this chest through. Front knee needs to come back, and this back leg needs to stay on as long as it can to provide support to your upper body. And we'll look at that later, but that back leg's coming off too early, and that's really it's really going to affect velocity. It's also going to affect command. So that's definitely something I want you to work on, keeping that back leg, driving that back leg as long as you can. It should not come off the ground before you throw the ball. So you're almost 2 frames early throwing the ball before your back leg comes up before you throw the ball. So let's look at your front knee. So as you plant, this is what we call an internally or externally rotated front knee. So let's look at it. I think it's pretty good. It's not bad. So that front knee's fine. The angle at which it's at is a little bit it's a little bit too small of an angle. So it stays there pretty much the whole time before you throw the ball. So 125 degrees. What I want to see is maybe somewhere in here. So your knee needs to shift back to this line, and we've got to firm up that front leg. Okay? And when you firm up that front leg, you provide stability in the back leg, stability into the back leg, and that provides your chest to drive through. So watch you throw the ball. Your chest should be down to this line. Theoretically, it should be 180 degrees off of that back leg, your chest, and it should work together. And then this front leg is providing support to that front side. So that's something that's huge. So you need to work on that front knee, stabilizing that front knee. You don't have an internally rotated front knee, but you could open up a little bit more this way with your foot, maybe 2 or 3 inches. That might help the stability in your front leg. All right, we're going to go into release point. So right around here, you're a little bit outside of that front foot, which is good. So your release point, you're releasing later, which is pretty good. Okay. All right. And we're going to look at stacking. Okay. So stacking is going to be an issue. Let's see here. Yep. So early on, you're kind of falling, and what I want to see is I want to see this back leg squat, load into that back leg, and this head is going to stay over that back foot. Notice early on you're not behind yourself. You're kind of pushing early. So I really want to start pushing with my leg and keep this upper body back a little bit longer. So stacking, I think you need to work on both lower body, I talked about the squat, how you're squatting, and then also getting your upper body, is your head behind that back leg as long as you can. And when you do that, you're going to be able to just be able to maintain yourself a lot better through the motion. So stacking definitely an issue. Let's look at your front glove. Front glove's pretty good, but you notice I can really notice now that back leg, just how out of sync it is because it's coming off the ground. I really think your front knee needs to move this way, right into here, provide more stability so that you can really push and drive off that back leg. So that's an issue. That front glove does a pretty good job, but like I said, that front knee is a huge issue. All of that energy is going into that front knee, and it's not going into the baseball. So this front knee is huge in delivering velocity. And then, when this front knee is moving, your upper body's not rotating as well. So front glove, I want you to work on front glove a little bit. This front glove should pinch. You pinch early, which is really good, and then you lose it. So I want to stay pretty firm into that front side. So that should be on the website under front glove. So look that up. Okay, we're going to go into high elbow. Actually, it looks pretty good, bud. Shoulder to shoulder, and then off to your elbow. It's a little bit elevated. So let's look at it back here. Looks pretty connected. Yeah. So part of this has number one. So let's look at your chest extension here. I'm going to take a measurement off your back hip up to your chest. So your chest extension isn't very far. It's only about 20. I'll remeasure it. About 33 degrees. And the reason why it's 33 degrees, your elbow has to come up to get the ball through. What should happen is your chest should roll through that way. And at 33 degrees, I want you to be at 48 degrees. I know that's not a lot, but it really is. Front knee needs to come back and stabilize, and the chest needs to work over. So there's a reciprocal action between your front knee and your upper body, and that creates extension, that creates power. So you do have an elevated distal humerus, which is a high elbow, and you see how your chest is going really far this way. You're slanting. The reason why that happens is because the front knee doesn't stabilize, and then your chest doesn't go over. And so your arm has to come out some way. So instead of going forward, your arm goes out. And that provides a lot of instability. So all these are connected. So you work with your lower body first, firm up that front leg, and then that chest will start firming up. But I don't want to see you tilting as don't worry about the tilt, just worry about going forward. I mean, that needs to be pretty firm in there. And then hand fly out, you definitely have a hand fly out. This is maximum layback right here. And then as you go out, you're about 70 degrees. If I could minimize that just down the middle, 39, 40 degrees. Instead of going around your elbow this way, I'd like you to go through the elbow, right over top of it. Part of it's going to be your chest, driving forward, going through that. And part of it's going to be your front knee, firming up firming up right here. So between all of those, I think that's something that you could pick up 4 or 5 miles an hour just by fixing power to the back leg, front knee, chest extension, elbow, high elbow, front glove, and stacking. That's 6 things. So there's weaknesses on our website. Feel free to have Coach text me if he has any questions. And thanks for working with us.